college football. This is what we do, and this is what we come over here today for. And I hope all you guys are having a good day. Thank y'all for coming by the channel. Ole Misses, Texas. Got some quarterbacks. We got a Heisman finalist on the list that's going to be returning to come back to. Auburn, he didn't have such a great year, but we're going to break him down too. And you got to talk about the team that's by Vegas is way favored to win the SEC. That they lost it last year, but they're big time favorites to win. Carson Beck, going to talk about him. But first, you know who the highest graded quarterback is in college coming back?
I'm just going to guess this. Is it Brady Cook?
And we're going to talk about him too. He had a good year last year. But
Jackson Dart.
The highest graded quarterback returning in the land is Oregon's Gabriel.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know why or how, but so
is that rain?
Yeah, it is. It's coming a nice little shower up here in northern Alabama. So he is the highest rated.
Oh, I thought you meant I was thinking it was on our list. That's why I said the name. That's it.
He's just the highest rated guy, Gabriel.
Huh.
I wouldn't know. When I read it, I was like, when I was doing this other research.
And I knew he's one of the top ones.
Yeah, I come over that just looking at these other guys. And I was like, well, that's interesting. I'll write that down.
Yeah, I would not have thought that.
Who's first on your list?
Well, first on our list is Big Jalen.
Heisman finalist from last year.
Jalen Milroe.
Threw for a couple thousand or so, had probably 20 touchdowns, several picks. What did he rush for last year?
All right, he rushed. He's 12-2 as a starter. Now, he was 11-2 last year. He did not start South Florida.
Yeah.
Didn't even go in the game.
No.
But after that, I think that was just proving a point. I don't know what it was.
Players.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of crap happen.
Right. But he did start one game against Mississippi State, I think, the year before. And they won. So he's 12-2 as a starter, 2,834 yards passing. He improved a lot as a passer. 23 touchdowns, only 6 picks. He rushed for 530 and had 12 touchdowns. So 3,400 yards, 35 touchdowns. Guys, they were the number 3 team in the country. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Probably number 2. Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly. So. But they did lose to Michigan. He took a lot of heat over that game, but Michigan had a good defense. And, I think there was some miscommunication on the last play.
Well, your right tackle just got
we can't really
blowed off his feet.
Judge him off that. But I think these numbers, 531 rush, and Matt knows this, and most of you fans know this, he's capable of rushing for more yards than that. He's a 1,000-yard quarterback.
Yeah.
Rushing.
Yeah.
And I think he made plays when he had to, was excellent. I didn't even think he did bad against Michigan. He was just under so much pressure.
Well, when you bring back a bunch of seniors, and which Harbaugh did, hey, hats off to them for keeping a team together, right?
But now Georgia, oh my gosh. I mean, guys, he played.
Out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
It was ridiculous. I thought he had a great year.
What's up, Aaron?
I'm a huge fan of him, and I want him to be successful. I don't want to see him. I feel like some people I talk to kind of halfway want to see him not do well.
Well, because they hate Alabama.
And well, even some fans, they're like, we don't know if we want him to be our quarterback.
Well,
because of the Michigan game.
No, that's no way. You're not following. You're not real football savvy if you say he shouldn't start because of that game. Because the stats for that game, he played a good game for what he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's running for his life half the time, and he's picking the ball up off the ground on several snaps. And the last play, which was part of costing him, which therefore also the right tackle getting exploded off.
I think it's a low snap too.
And a low snap. So the play may have worked if it would have been executed correctly, but it was not. Execution was poor, and they lost the game. But well,
the play looked awful. I mean, you were like sitting there going, "What in the world's Reese doing?"
Yeah.
But that's not the way it was drawn up. It was supposed to go to the left.
Yeah, let's snap it on the ground and have our right tackle. Hey, right tackle, just fall down. That's the play. No,
Yeah.
that's not the play. But now with Milroe, I'll say this, and I'll let you go to the next one. Dean, what about him having a real coach, a quarterback coach that coaches quarterbacks and grades quarterbacks and has a real understanding of football, the rhythm of the game, and the offense? Coach DeBoer is that.
I think he's got a chance to have a Penix type year, but I don't know if he's got those. He don't have Roma Dunza as a receiver.
No,
but I think he's going to flourish.
Now, offensive line wise, is Bama going to be good enough up front to protect him?
I think they're going to be a little better, a little bit better. I just don't think he has.
Who's all back?
I don't think his receivers are as good.
Who's all back on their line?
But you got, I cannot pronounce his
The
name.
Brockemeyer guy.
Brockemeier's back.
No, he transferred.
I mean, he transferred. You've got the one that came back, Proctor. I cannot ever Dillashaw.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
I don't know.
Dillingham, Dillashaw, whatever. I think I'm thinking about David Dillashaw up here in the center. He's back. Dellencourt. That's who I'm talking about. Darian Dellencourt.
Who was 55? The big guard. He's back too.
They've got him back. Very
Booker.
good. Booker. Tyler Booker, who is obviously a team leader.
Yeah, I'm glad because you know what I said about him last year. Sorry, Booker. I said a lot of bad things about you, but I didn't talk about you, Mama. I'm not mad at you personally. I just didn't like how you played most of the game. Just didn't play very good, man.
Well, some people's not real high on Proctor being back, but Proctor will start.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't let him come back to the team. I'm just the hard-headed idiot, the Bear Bryant, that wouldn't start Namath because he didn't come to practice. We'll lose the game. I don't care. But you're going to learn a lesson that there's rules to this team and how we do things, and I'm just that way. I'm just stupid, I guess.
And I think that Milroe's going to have a better year running the ball because I think Miller and Haynes are better than McClellan and Roy Dale Williams.
Yes, they are.
And that's going to open it up.
There's
going to open. But now I don't think he don't have a Burton or a Bond.
No.
I really wish Bond and Black had stayed.
Well,
Not Black.
Yeah, him and Bond went to Texas.
They went to Texas.
And then you got Williams now, the 5-star kid out of Saraland.
And you got Prentice back.
He was good.
He is. Whatever happened to Ja'Cory Brooks? Does anybody know?
I don't remember if
I know he transferred. I mean, he may have transferred to TCU.
I think he went to a smaller school.
But
maybe not.
But somebody always steps up at receiver.
Well,
and I think the backfield, the running back,
that'll take some pressure.
The whole backfield's going to take some pressure off of it.
Yeah, he won't have to do as much.
No. I think he'll have a great year, and I think DeBoer will be good. I don't know how great Alabama as a whole will be in this mix as far as the top 5. You know, me and Matt had talked before that we didn't think they would be. Possibly, they lost a lot.
And you got a new coach.
It's hard to follow somebody like Saban. Me and Daddy were talking today that the guy that followed Bear Bryant didn't do well, which was Ray Perkins. And then Bill Curry did pretty good. He got fired anyway. And then Stallings was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the guy that followed him got fired, and the next 3 got fired, and then
I don't think it's going to be and we'll do like Bama as a team. I look for them to be a 8-9 win team.
I'd say 9. Yeah,
they're going to play 3 games. They're going to be off. Then they're going to come. Their first SEC game is Georgia.
Yeah, I know. Who's going to be very good, which we're going to get in them.
And I'm just not sure. I've said this before. I'm not sure if DeBoer. Well, I guess he does. Because his defense is not terrible. So he's seen SEC speed on. But have you really been a coach and been on the field and seen another SEC team play? Mm-hmm. When he sees these dudes at Georgia, their D-backs, and how you think you can develop a quarterback, he's used to those D-backs that play out west, and they're just not really good.
No, they're not compared.
They don't tackle well. They can hawk balls sometimes, but they're not. you get even the D-back room like at Auburn is just not very deep. It's not going to be great. This is going to be the Iron Bowl. I'm not sure if he's really, really sunk in how fired up Georgia's going to be to beat Bama because they're a little PO. They lost them in the SEC game last year. Okay, let's remember that.
Right. Yeah.
And I am just about dead sure that Kirby Smart is super competitive.
Yeah.
And he's going to want to stomp his foot right up on top of that Ain't Mountain and said, I'm running this SEC. Just because you're Bama don't mean you're the boss. You're a new coach. I'm the boss.
But
I'm sure that's how he's going to take it. And I wouldn't doubt if they can beat Bama, if he won't try to even run the score up a little bit on him.
he might do it. But
I could see him doing that.
Oh, yeah, I could a little bit.
And I'm not going to hate him for it. 'Cause if it was the other way around, if you don't like it, stop. If you don't like them dancing, what Jimmy Johnson said, and don't let them score.
Well, I look for Milroe to have a great year. I think he's a
he
great team. I think he's got a great attitude. I've
Yes,
never
he
heard
does.
anything negative on him
Hey.
as far as his work ethic.
When Saban left, I'm here.
Yeah.
Coach the board, meeting, I'm in. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to
I
start
don't even
at?
think he gave him a hard time when he
No.
set that game, did he?
No, he was cheered on. Old Chinese lacrosse player went back to Notre Dame and them.
Buckner.
Tying them. Yeah, he was just cheering them all. Hey, good job, guys.
All right. Well, we'll move to the other side of the state. And Peyton Thorne, 22-15. I think Matt proved a point here a minute ago. SEC's just tougher. This guy has an unbelievable statistics in the Big Ten
Well,
at Michigan State.
that's not a lot, though.
And he didn't do great at Auburn throwing the ball. He did run it very well. 1,750 yards through 10 interceptions. His career record as a quarterback is 22-15. He was 11-2 his first year, and since then he's 11-13 in the last two. He's got 9,200 yards, Matt, and 74 touchdowns. Is he going to have the breakout year? That's the question. Is he going to have the breakout year, or is he even going to keep this spot? Now, Auburn does not have a lot, and they've got some good running backs.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not loaded down at receivers that we know of.
Austin Cobb, Hunter in the backfield.
Yeah.
And they got Cam Coleman. He's a 5-star player.
He is a 5-star who I think will probably
very good.
be very good right now.
Yep. He finished behind Mr. Football, Williams, that went to Bama. He's from Central Phoenix. Taller guy, physical guy. But I'm just saying, guys, just Auburn fans, please stop. He's not going to win you a bunch of games.
No, he's not
No.
great. He's not as good as Milroe.
No, I mean the receiver.
Oh, Cam Coleman.
One
not a
5-star
freshman.
guy. Stop doing that. Not one receiver's not going to win you a game anyway. You got to play defense
No.
and run the ball. Now, and we'll talk about them.
I do think they'll be able to run the ball.
I broke Auburn down already. Where they lack, and they've got some guys in the portal. And they're going to be okay. But remember, they won 6 games last year. He's the leading guy. He's your leading team guy on a team that won 6 games.
Yes. He's 11-13 in his last 2 years as a starter. Now, not all that's his fault, but
No, it's not. It's on the coach.
He's thrown 24 interceptions in 2 years.
That's on the coach.
Yeah.
At some point, and it seems like it's an Auburn thing. Maybe
He just not done well at Auburn.
Well,
he did at Michigan State.
Well, they do that with Pearl too. Like when they lose, it's I don't.
Mhm.
The media seems to play. No, some of this has to fall on the coach.
Yeah.
Gus was terrible at taking a loss. He would say, "Well, we didn't have this right, or we missed this throw, or this guy had a bunch of drops today." I just go up there and own it. Oh, Chisnick would just go up there and lose the game. I was on me.
And that happens.
It starts with me. I'm the head coach.
They're not perfect. You're going to make, sometimes your adjustments don't work. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you don't make them when you should. Sometimes you make them when you should. Coaches mess up too.
So do we think that Thrawn is going to be a guy that can get them to 8 wins? Can he win them 2 more games this year?
I'm not.
They're at Missouri,
I'm not overly impressed with him.
and they got Oklahoma coming into town.
But I am impressed with his legs. He can run.
Well, nobody played him for a run last year.
No.
I didn't think he could run.
He can run the football, and that that's what's so weird about him. He threw it all over the place at Michigan State and never ran the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to the SEC and has a terrible time throwing, but runs all over the place. He had 100 yards rushing against Alabama.
Yeah.
100.
And they never adjusted. They couldn't get it. Well, by the time they adjusted to it later on, then he tried to throw it, but
Yeah.
Bama had their head up their butt, first
Yeah.
part.
Well, they shouldn't have won that.
No, first part of the game. And
Okay. I'll ask you this. The way he played against Alabama, did that show, is that a light at the end of the tunnel to make
something you can build
people
on.
think, hey, maybe this guy might be the guy?
They're going to have to win 8 games. They're going to have to beat Missouri. And I don't know. They got Bama and Georgia. I think that's 3 right there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Out of the 6 we're going to discuss, I think he's the least established.
Well, you lose to Maryland in a bowl game.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
The least established.
You can't.
And Matt, the last one, I like him. You're not a fan of him. And that's, we agree to disagree. We don't argue over it. But I will say this. Outside of Alabama, against Alabama, he's not been just mesmerizing. But Quentin Ewers.
Yeah,
Quinn Ewers.
I don't know. Watching him play, he just don't wow me.
Right.
He's not bad.
I called him the Alabama assassin because he has a game of his life when they play Alabama.
Yeah.
Both years.
He's been hurt a lot. He can't seem to stay
He
healthy.
has been hurt. And he's 20-7 as a starter. He's thrown for 5,600, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's a good ratio, but it's not mind-boggling. It's not like Bryce Young's was.
No.
But now I will say this about Ewers, and he has had some fantastic
Weapons. And their offensive line was pretty good last year. Defensive line has some struggles. Are they going to be as good up front this year?
I think they're supposed to be pretty good. I think they'll be in that playoff. I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year, though. They just combined.
Yeah.
Bond's got to be A.D. Mitchell. Bond and the Blacks got to be Mitchell and
Worthy.
I don't know if
They're not that.
I don't know if they're that good.
They're not. To me, that's just. They're not that. Bond's okay. He's a second team guy, second team ACC, right?
Yes.
And that's where
Second team.
That's when he landed.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
But Worthy and Mitchell are like second
team.
team All-Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted that first team money, and Bama wouldn't pay him, so he left. So
he may have a breakout year.
we may.
He may.
And with Sark calling plays, Texas is new to the SEC.
Well, I know, like we said, he's not he never said he didn't think Ewers was good. He's just not a huge fan.
He just don't really impress me very much.
But he's going to be their quarterback.
It's not like when I watched Vince Young play at Texas, I was like, well, wow, he can do a lot of stuff.
Nobody's going to take Ewers' spot, though, right?
Well, I didn't see nothing. Arch throws weird. His back foot's lobbing up off the ground like he's throwing off a pitching mound at spring football. I don't know, man.
But then, there's some publications that absolutely love this guy. Is he going to be considered the best quarterback in the conference? By some? Is he going to be number 1?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so either. But
I think there's some that will say that.
Yeah. No, I can't put him there.
But I think most of the people in the conference, especially guys like us that really stick close to SEC, like Crane and Company, or SEC Mike guy, him and cousin Shane, they're probably going to say Carson Beck.
I'd say he'd have to be right now.
But let's not forget Milroe. Now, he was a Heisman finalist.
He was.
And
he's got to be. And Ewers is top 5 now.
No, God, I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
Not just blown away by him.
And we don't know these other 8. We know Vandergrift's going to be.
What about Nussmeier?
Nussmeier's good.
We like him.
Very good. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on Florida's. We'll know all that when time comes.
Mertz.
But
he got hurt. Florida's guy saying he got hurt in spring.
That's my 3: Milroe, Peyton, and Ewers. And I'm not sure that one of them he may not even be their quarterback by the middle of the year. Auburn's. But I don't think Ewers and Milroe have much to worry about. But they do got tough schedules. So, if you're going to lose your spot, it's definitely the year to do it.
I like Brown at Auburn. In the spring game,
yeah,
when I watched him play, I felt like, oh,
Right.
maybe because my expectations were a little low. So
Right.
when he come in and did fair, I was like, okay, I like how he plays. I like
Do
watching
you
him
think
play.
he could possibly be Auburn's quarterback?
I like him, man. I don't know what you're waiting on. Obviously, I'm not Coach Freeze, and I don't make a bunch of money coaching a football team. So what I know,
PT, that's what I call him. He may be a masterful in the huddle and in getting the people in the right spot, tell them to shut up and quit complaining. We don't know. That's little things you don't know.
well, with Hunter and who's it, Austin, and then Cobb,
Cobb, good
in the backfield.
Yeah.
If they can protect him up front and they can give them lanes, that keeps a lot of pressure off. Because I've already said this probably 10 times. Auburn Coach Freeze wants to create one-on-one matchups up the sideline. He's just going to try to run fast and go in a hurry and catch you off guard and catch a linebacker looking in or corner sneaking down to try to play that RPO. And as soon as you do, he's going to go over the top and hit you up the sideline. Cam Coleman one-on-one with anybody is going to be tough.
So Cam Coleman's like a Julio Jones
Yes.
type coming in, right?
You leave him over there with somebody, I don't know, man. In the SEC, who's the top dog? You know, who's the big dog corner? Another freshman like Macumba that plays at Bama?
I don't know. Now, we've not studied that, which we'll get into that.
Those two played against each other. That Clay and Saraland. They played each other in the state championship game.
Yeah.
Okay, they're on the same team now. I mean, I'm sorry. Him and Hollywood are on the same team. They play against each other. Coleman's from Central Phoenix.
Yes.
So could Macumba be a guy to run over there? Oh, man,
I've not heard of him starting yet, but who knows? He may. We didn't hear of Caleb Downs starting, and then he led the team in tackles. I'm talking about this time last year. We didn't know that Downs was going to start. We thought he probably would because we went and watched the spring game. We thought he probably would.
But here's the thing with that. With Auburn, you can't pack your lunch on that because every play they're not going to have one-on-one coverage on that side. They're going to have help over there a lot. But you leave what's his name open on the other side. They played last year for Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to have some guys pretty decent to throw to. So, but still, he is the bottom. He's the 6 of the 6.
He's the 6th of the 6 to me,
and that's no knock against him personally at all, guys. We're just talking about football. The face that's not on the thumbnail as we crank up the show here to find out who's the best gunslinger in the SEC. Thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe to the channel every Sunday night at 6 o'clock. We are right here to bring you live sports action, locker room sports talk, Big Matt and Diamond Dean every week. Next week's just going to get better and better. We got plenty of stuff to talk about. And again, here, I'm going to talk about Cook, Dart, and Beck.
Dart, who I think is the most underrated quarterback in the
A
country.
lot of people are talking about him. As the season gets closer, I think we're going to hear more about him.
Yeah.
But Cook was not on the thumbnail that you're looking at if you clicked on this video to watch.
Good one, isn't he?
I just didn't have room to put his face on the because I just had 5 up there.
People in this area, and nothing against them, they're not real familiar with Missouri football anymore.
No, but I think you're going to be. Sam Horn was their backup guy, baseball player. He's Tommy John surgery, so he's going to be probably out for the season.
Ooh, yeah,
not good. But Cook is back, and he's going to be cooking. Cotton Bowl winner, 14-3 over Ohio State. Brady Cook Jr., business major out of St. Louis. He's a hometown guy. Okay, 6'2", 205 pounds. Last year, he threw for 3,300 yards.
Excellent year.
21 touchdowns, only 6 picks.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent.
And guess who he still gets to throw to?
Luther.
All SEC.
Probably on paper the best receiver in the conference.
And he's
I would
rumored
think.
now by Metzer and those guys, first round. He's first round pick.
Luther Burden.
Yeah.
First round.
They're saying right now. Already. Before the season started, they said he's going to go first round wide receiver. They really, really high on him.
Well, he's helped turn them around.
Last year against Georgia, he threw for 212 yards and a touchdown, but he threw 2 picks. He was sacked 3 times. His QBR was 73 when he played Georgia. Not much of a runner, 66 rushing versus Ohio State in the 14-3 win when they took care of business over there against thee. His motto says, "We stand on business." That's what he's known by on his media pages. They went 11-2, 6-2 in conference. They lost 49-39 to LSU. and then they lost a close one to Georgia.
They played Georgia well.
30-21. But they beat Tennessee. They drowned Tennessee. I don't know what happened in that game. 36-7 was the score last year against Tennessee.
They could have beat LSU easy. Now Georgia had the lead. They played Georgia well.
Yeah.
But did you ever feel like they really could have beat Georgia? I did not.
No, I don't know what happened. They just didn't have a good day.
But now LSU, they should have probably won that. He threw a pick 6 in that game.
Yeah. They lost by 10.
10.
I mean, you figured 39 would be enough to win the game, and it wasn't.
No. And he don't throw many pick sixes either.
What kind of gunslinger, as we're talking about here, I think he's going to be great. I look for Missouri to, probably be a 9 or 10 win team.
Yeah, I think, and
their schedule's a little different now this year.
Him and Eli living right, because I'll say this, after week 2, they didn't want him to be the quarterback anymore, and they wanted Drinkwitz fired.
Oh, yeah. I remember me and you watching Cousin Shane and SEC Mike.
Yeah.
Remember watching that?
Yeah, they want him gone.
I was just like, what? Wait
Bench
a minute.
him.
Hang on, man. Yeah. But you see right here is the magic number. That's not good. They got
they're not going to be as good.
27 seniors.
And they had the best running back in the conference last year.
And he turned out, not even the first of the year, to be the best of the best, tailback, but he wound up turning out to be the best tailback.
He was about unstoppable.
Wow. And he did get drafted.
He did.
Yep. He went on. Gosh, where did he go? Crap, I forgot.
That's why you play the game. Missouri is a good. I'm sitting on here a year ago going, they go 5-7, 4-8.
Y'all know where he went?
Now Matt did give them a little better. No, I did. But they were excellent. They were one of the better teams in the nation.
They won for me, Missouri won didn't he win the Coach of the Year or whatever?
Oh, gosh, yes. SEC Coach of the Year, come by. I'm sure everything. I know he won SEC Coach of the Year.
So I think they're going to have a great shot at it.
Comeback Coach of the Year. Rebound Coach of the Year.
They're going to be – listen, man. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be barn burning. And losing all those players, they do have some guys to replace, but they still have some guys on defense. 27 seniors.
No, I think they go 8-5, 9-4 though. I'm sold on Missouri now.
Once you start winning, it kind of becomes infectious. Usually, you don't go off like Arkansas does and win like 9 games, and the next year you win like 7, and then you're winning 6, and then your quarterback goes to South Florida.
Oh, gosh, and they don't have anybody. They don't have much coming back this year.
And
but they may fly under that radar.
Arkansas and Vanderbilt and South Carolina is not going to be trash, but I've done a little bit on them, but we'll talk about them too. Next on the list, Jackson Dart.
Fantastic.
They come from USC, 21. During the COVID year, he had wound up out there. He's 2 months older than my son. He was born in March, April, May. Yes, May of 03.
Mm-hmm.
He is $1.4 million to the good with his NIL deal with National Air Private Jet Lines. 1.4 million is his NIL deal.
1.4 million.
Prototypical looking guy, Dane. 6'2", 220, 3,364 yards, 23 touchdowns on 5 picks. He had a 77% QBR last year. 3,300 yards. Now,
the rushes, he can run the ball too.
Against Georgia, they absolutely just, I don't know if they sent the wrong cheerleading team. 52-17 final, no touchdowns, 1 pick. 38-24 win over Penn State in their bowl game, 3 touchdowns, no picks in that game. Rushed for 14-yard rushing touchdown out of one of his touchdowns. Now,
I didn't think they played good against Bama. I didn't think of them. I thought that was one of Bama's better games.
I agree. Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, is going to be back to help them be some of those wins. 11-2, 6-2 in the conference last year, 7-0 at home. That's important. I underline that.
That is big.
7-0 at home. Now, lost to Bama 24-10. They beat LSU 55-49 last year.
Wow.
And they win the Peach Bowl against Penn State 38-25. Now, 3 of the 5 offensive linemen are back. Jones, Pettis, and Warren. They have 111 starts between them.
Really?
That-
Oh, that means that they've all started 3 years.
That's a recipe for success.
Oh my
With that quarterback coming back and their schedule, we've looked at their schedule. I showed it to you.
And their running back, their schedule's not terrible.
It's pretty easy. Bentley's going to be back in the backfield. They got 17 coming in from the portal.
They got one of the best receivers in the country.
And I was worried about Logan Diggs. He came up from where he come from. He was at Notre Dame and went somewhere, and they wound up getting him in the portal, but he's having knee surgery. So question mark Logan Diggs. Kiffin acted like after the spring game, he's either going to play first game of the year or he might not play till game 10. So he's great now, Logan Diggs.
He is. And I'll say this, and you know it, that Bentley kid's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's not as good as Judkins,
No.
but he ain't far behind.
And with those guys, all those guys back on the line,
He'll be better.
look, man,
I think Kiffin's like, I can find a running back. I need receivers and a quarterback. I can
Yep.
find a running back.
and they got guys on the elite to play out there to throw the ball too.
Yeah, Harris, he's their main one, isn't he?
The tight end, Prius, Corn, and of course, what's the name? Juice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Harris kid.
Well, that Harris is bad. He
They're-
may be. I saw something the other day that said Burden and Harris were the best top two.
You got and they didn't have 27 seniors leaving. Kiffin did good in the portal, and the linebacker Coleman is back, and the Washington guy, and also Ivy at DB. So we're talking about adding a pretty good team here. So this Jackson Dart,
They're calling it now. National. I'm kidding. We do think it's going to be one of the better teams they've ever had.
11-2 last year. Do they expound on that?
I think they go 11-2 at worst. I just like their schedule.
Yeah, I know, man. Y'all go look at their schedule. It's not bad
It's
at
not
all.
hard. It's one of the easier ones.
Jackson Dart,
And Dart started 100 games. I mean, good gosh.
and you got your interior offensive linemen with 111 starts between them. You got
Dart's
these-
probably started 30 something.
You got this Nolan kid to return on defensive tackle, and you got this Bentley at running back, Coleman at linebacker.
They got their linebackers back.
Yeah, Corn tight end, and then Juice and Harris. Man, what else do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, and which Matt and a lot of other people seem to think that was a good thing. I just hated that Judkins is gone. But if he
Well,
was causing
He was throwing a fit.
distractions,
Dart was.
they don't like him.
in the
Right?
ball game.
I'm not saying they don't like him, but they're
No, they
okay
don't.
not to be played.
No, they don't like him. Jackson Dart, because we didn't know. We noticed it in the bowl game. Like, why is him and Kiffin and one of the other coaches they're in a huddle there, and Dart's just, you can tell his face and his language. He's just raising Cain about something. Like, I'm thinking, well, why do we need to run that X route over? They've been covering it up.
Yeah.
Why is open every time? Why, what is up with that 26 waggle? That's not been open. That's not what he was talking
He's
about.
saying, get this butthole out of here.
We found out a week later through Twitter that Jackson Dart is on the sideline saying, this guy, every time I get in the huddle, man, why ain't I getting the ball? This is bull. Why ain't y'all blocking y'all up front? Why we need to win this game? This is on me. I brought y'all this far. This is on me. Get me the dang ball.
That bad?
Dart, he said, he's just cussing and raising Cain. He said he is killing our huddle. Get him out of the game right. He was wanting him not to come back in.
You can't have your quarterback and tailback arguing.
Yeah, he just was cussing the lineman. And Dart's like, shut up. You're not helping right now. So what a recipe Lane Kiffin has. And look, man, this is gonna be his time. He better get him one.
Yeah, I think I think they'll be in the playoff.
Absolutely. And
Which is gonna save all these coaches' jobs.
if he can get in the playoff and go to round 2 and then play a 1 through 4, which is going to be Texas, Georgia, Ohio State.
Ole Miss could get in this.
They may.
They could get in this Final Four. I don't think they're good enough to go to the
That'll
championship.
if they finish 1 through 4, that'll give you a bye week first week.
Yeah, but I think they can reach it.
They can beat
If
the first
they-
round team.
Yes.
I do too.
Now you get into the Georgias and the Ohio States. No, I don't think they can. And we've made clear who we think is going to be the top 2. I haven't seen anything else to make me think anybody else would be. Yet Alabama's not going to be. I mean, they lost Saban and half their team.
I tell you what, I'll make this prediction now.
Florida State lost everybody.
If Ole Miss can go in, I think their first bye. I remember right. Their first bye week, they could be 8-0. I think going to LSU or something.
Okay, that's a tough one.
If they can do that and they pass over this obstacle, they wind up 9-0. If they can just play defense or something, man, and they can beat Ohio State or Texas, why couldn't they win it?
Now, I do say if he goes 7-6 or 8-5, they're going to want him gone, which I don't think he's going to do that.
I would be PO. That's no sense because they got all the look, man. Offensive line, defensive line. The game of football is always going to be won by what two things is always key:
the lines,
run the ball, play defense,
line of scrimmage,
win the line, and please play defense and run the ball. Now, all the other things are nice, pretty eye candy, and it looks pretty. Oh, wow, look at that deep throw, one-on-one back shoulder throw. Oh, my God, did you see that catch he made, Dean?
We've got to have time to do that. Yeah.
Those things are fun. But if you can't play defense and run the football like Michigan did, like Bama did even in 2020 when they won it, like Georgia did. Now, last year, Georgia didn't have a run game.
Not as good, no.
Now they do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it wasn't bad when he said that. It just wasn't like it wasn't like it was when they had Cook and White.
I ain't like no Sean Marino and
No,
those guys.
no.
So that moves me into this guy coming back again. These guys are returning SEC quarterbacks. This is the one he's thrown for the most yards. He's first. He's like first, second, and third in all the categories. Okay. He was 86 QBR ranking. He threw 6 picks. He threw for nearly 4,000 yards last year with 24 touchdowns.
Wow.
6'4", 220-pound junior Carson Beck. He completed 13 of 18 passes versus Florida State, had over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game that the Cinnamon Rolls decided to opt out because they were snubbed in the playoffs because their president of the college did not sign the paperwork, and they could have been in the playoff. They were going to create a playoff last year. But the ACC, their president, said, nah, and it cost them. If he just would have signed the papers, then all their players could have played, and they could have got Georgia in the playoffs, and we could have found out who the real man is. But Cinnamon Rolls decided not to man up, and all their players decided
20?
to quit.
Was it 19 or 20?
Quitters. I don't want to hear it. I ain't gonna get into it because it makes me mad. They quit.
Yeah.
Now the ones that go draft, now I dig it. You're going to draft. You're
a lot of
going
them just didn't play.
opt out, or you. I don't even want to. That's on you, Florida State. You had a chance to get back there and be something. Mike Norvell, you can't hold your players to be accountable to keep them in the game, to get them to want to stay and play. They have a little bit of sense of pride in being the Seminoles, the team that Bowden spent his whole life at doing and building up and winning championships. I don't want to hear no more about Florida State. I don't want to hear nothing. There's still people, they're dogging Josh Pate on Twitter yesterday.
Wow.
He's like in a pretty hardcore debate over Florida State fans. He's just saying you had your shot, and y'all didn't show up. Pretty much, he didn't say it like that, like I will. He's a little more proper than me because he makes real money doing it. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Well,
they had their chance.
Yeah, they did.
And as far as Norville goes, I don't think it would have. I'm sure he tried. It just didn't.
It don't seem like his personality. Maybe I'm wrong about him, but it just don't feel like him. So y'all get off Josh Pate's. Y'all get off his page. We like Josh Pate.
I mean, I'm asking a question. Do you think there's a chance Norville's like, I don't blame you. I wouldn't do with this either.
This is crap. We got overlooked.
Yeah. Or do you think he's like, look, I don't know. But whatever it was, neither way it worked. It didn't work. No, they just all tapped out.
But this is about Carson Beck. And he's going to be back, and he's Vegas' favorite to be your guy to win the SEC this year. Now, will he play Ole Miss or will he play Alabama? Don't forget LSU has got a football team. Please, y'all don't forget about that. Don't forget LSU is still playing football. They just won the SEC 2 years ago.
Yeah, and wasn't supposed to.
No. And Nussmeier is good. Please don't underestimate him. We're the only two.
I went a little overboard last year when I was like, well, heck, put Daniels back in. I don't want this joke. He's came in before and just went crazy.
I like Nussmeier.
But he did not last year against Alabama. They did good against him.
Now, Jaden Daniels has moved on for them. Now, there was a little sloppy play for Beck last year. 24-27 loss. He was 21 for 29, threw for 243 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. That was the difference right there. 0 touchdowns. He lost by 3 to Alabama in the SEC championship game. Bama was just fired up.
I didn't think he played bad, but I didn't think he played great. He played good down the stretch.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm not going to put all – and I'll just put blame where it's at. And Birds, he may be watching – I didn't blame all that loss on Beck.
No.
You know who I laid the blame on? They didn't have much of a running game. And their offensive line, Bama just whooped their ass up front.
Yeah.
I've never seen Bama. They played – if they'd have played all year like they played against Georgia on defensive front, they wouldn't have been a question.
Yeah.
They would have beat Michigan. But Michigan was good up front. They had They had older guys.
Their linebackers were good.
Yes, and I don't think – I think Alabama got out-coached. And I don't mean Harbaugh out-coached Saban. I mean as a complete staff.
Yeah.
Michigan out-coached Alabama.
Yeah, and it happens. I mean, you know.
But he was 21 for 29. But he couldn't throw a touchdown. And they were on him, man. Beck only got sacked twice, but he was running a lot. And he is not a scrambler. Now, a lot of people feel what we're talking about, him being maybe a pick to go be a first-round guy. As of right here, Colin Cowherd says he may be a top 10 or top 20 quarterback. He is. They don't feel like he's a 1 through 5 quarterback. Okay, because of his lack of mobility. Mm-hmm. He's just not going to take off from the ball and run it. It's just not his thing.
Now, I know he did for you, but I thought he did better than I expected. I think he's better than Stetson Bennett.
I need to see another year.
Yeah.
It's just too – I can't – my sample size is still just one season.
Right.
And we've seen Staquinas play so much.
Yeah, well, he obviously ended up having a great career.
He had a good team around him, man. A great team.
And Beck's got some good targets. I mean, Bowers, McConkey, Lovett.
Yep, all these guys are gone. Now, last year,
he'll have some of them back.
Tennessee, they beat them 38-10. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Can he have another one of those games against Tennessee?
Yeah, and Tennessee was improved on defense too.
Okay, his career high, he had 390 against Kentucky. Can he do that? Can he replicate this over 350 passing?
Yeah, there at first. I mean, that's all he's every week, 300. Now,
you see this little box I got squared off here, Dean?
Mm-hmm.
I spent about an hour just on this stuff right here. I really got to dig deep on this because I want to know, not just give you this name, but I'm going to tell you about what kind of chance, because to call him a real gunslinger, as me being an old fat boy played at the center, you're only as good as your offensive line. Mm-hmm. That's why I was saying I want to know who's coming back on offensive line. Well, their center and tackle are gone. Okay. Mm-hmm. But Ratledge, Truss are back as offensive linemen in a guard. Calhoun is back. Sports Illustrated says maybe the best offensive line ever. Wilson is a lock for the center. Fairchild and Ernest are also key members of this offensive line. There's your starting 5. Ernest, Fairchild, Truss, Ratledge, and Calhoun start at Georgia. And these guys have hundreds of snaps between them.
Best offensive line
ever. Now, one of the players that played there for well, I can see his face. Mark.
Mm-hmm. Rick.
That played there for Mark Rick. Mm-hmm. I think he said he was he was there like 8, 9, 10 at Georgia. Mm-hmm. I think he said his last name was Jones. He said, this is a Sports Illustrated article I read about this. I went down there this spring to help as a retired NFL lineman that I played at Georgia back in those times, and he played NFL a little while. And he goes back, like a lot of players do. They'll show up for the spring and help a couple of weeks, hold dummies or encourage the guys or, He said, I go to Springs and I keep up with my team.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be I've never seen an offensive line like this. He said, so the marks.
They may win. I mean.
Yeah. So the marks for Vegas says they are.
Vegas says Georgia's going to win.
Vegas says Georgia plays Ohio State for the title. Vegas.
Let's just do it.
So the mark, guys, is it's up here. So now this is the problem with that though, because Bama's been through this since probably since 2012 or 13 after they got them one.
Mm-hmm.
When you set that mark up high, you got to hit it. Or
It's
I'm
hard.
gonna say something like I did with Stequinas. I was like, man, that's just not good enough. They have bad games. I'm gonna call him out. You know, and Bama quarterbacks, Milroe has. I'm gonna call him out. Bad. I'm gonna call him out. That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. So,
right. I didn't know this about Georgia's line. That changes my.
that's why I'm
That
telling you.
changes the game plan a
When we
little
want
bit.
to lay this out, I want to know who these offensive linemen are coming back. How good are these guys going to be? Because only how good a gunslinger they're going to be is only as good as their offensive line.
Well, as far as the three I've got, Auburn not much. Missouri lost a lot, and Alabama's got a good line.
They've had some guys back.
Beck's got a good line, obviously, from what you just said. Ewer's decent.
Seniors.
Cook, not good.
Oh gosh, and I'm look, man. I'm high on.
Dart, good.
I'm high on. I find myself pulling for Missouri.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know with all those. I had 27 seniors. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Poor old Drink.
They've been down on him before.
So that's our rim shot at. Hey, and y'all take this information and we give it to you, and y'all can make up your own mind. And if you're watching this as a side clip, you know I'll cut this out and then add it up as a video to come out probably Tuesday, Wednesday night. You know, get the comments down there. Say y'all are crazy. We think Beck is not going to be great. Georgia's going to lose a few games. Their schedule's tougher. Or you could say
Their schedule is tough.
Jackson Dart and them's going to win it all. Or you could say y'all are insane. Texas is loaded, and they're going to probably win the SEC. And that's what I want. We just want comment. Give us your comments.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Texas is any better than they were last year.
I don't.
They may be the same,
I don't
but
see
they're
it.
not better.
I don't